reflect a little bit on your journey. What's one piece of advice that you wish you could give to your younger self when you were just starting out?
What is it? I would say the best piece of advice is, we do this program called EOS, which stands for Entrepreneurial Operating System. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's a leadership methodology. We started doing it about a couple of years ago, and we work with an implementer who kind of guides us on a quarterly and annual basis. It's been really wonderful for our business in terms of helping us to really structure a path forward and hold ourselves accountable. I have a leadership team. It's myself and two other folks on my team. They're amazing, and they keep me honest, and they keep things going in a forward direction. And, I never really realized how much I needed that structure in my life to really help me to succeed. I'm always kind of like a fly by the seat of your pants, do what's in your heart and it'll work out kind of gal. And that's true too. I think you have to have good instincts, but I wish I had found more resources for myself earlier on to support a structure. It's always, when you're an entrepreneur, it's always, you don't know what you don't know, right? Until you know it. It's not like, even I think if you go to Harvard Business School, they don't really tell you what you're going to need to know in order to run a business. They don't say to you, when you have that client that's 70% of your revenue, you better diversify. These are not things that are taught necessarily. You kind of have to learn them as you go. And I think entrepreneurs, we tend to fly by the seat of our pants a little bit. You can't be both. You can't be both the visionary and kind of the practical, implementer of every idea. You have to be kind of one or the other. And so if you want to be that visionary and fly high, then you've got to find some structure for yourself to ensure that you're making those practical decisions the best way you can. And I think maybe earlier on, if we had had more structure, we would have maybe been able to go further faster. And, kind of now I feel like that's a really wonderful part of our business.
So I'm intrigued by EOS. I feel like I'm of the mindset that every good entrepreneur needs a team around them. Some of that team is legal and accounting and marketing and insurance. But then I also think that every good entrepreneur needs a business coach. I have one. I figure out how to run the law firm like a business. Say I'm a CEO as well as being an attorney. So I'm intrigued by what made you choose EOS and how it's changed sort of how you're moving forward. Because I think that that's good advice to be able to, for either people who are at 15 years or who are at 15 days, to 100%. Learn how to put that team together and how that's a key component, or how it was a key component for you.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I could rave about EOS forever. I highly recommend looking into it. You could just read the books, like they have excellent books by Gino Waxman, who started the methodology. You don't really need to buy into having somebody come in and work with you. You could really do it on your own. It's just kind of a framework that you can apply. But we've made the investment at having someone work with us who is a certified EOS implementer. And what I really love about it is a few things. One, when we have challenges in figuring out how we are going to scale, it gives us a framework to set goals that are really achievable, but are a stretch at the same time. So the way that it works is you set these 90-day goal periods. They call them rocks that you have. And each of these 90-day rocks are set both personally and for the business. And so you revisit them every 90 days and you kind of see what your progress is to getting to them. And that doesn't sound like brain surgery, but what's so interesting about it is the rest of the methodology that supports it. So one of my favorite things is with my leadership team, with the two other people that are on my leadership team, we have these weekly meetings, and these weekly meetings, they're called level 10 meetings, are super, super structured. We work through a scorecard for how the business is doing. We look at our rocks, the goals that we have both personally and for the organization as a whole. And then we talk about any of the issues that we have that are current issues. And the fact that we have these meetings every week as a leadership team allows us to really deal with things, to look ahead and try to predict what's going to happen next, but also to deal with things as they're happening. And so I think if you don't have that kind of structure in place, it's a simple structure, but it's super effective. It kind of keeps us all on task. It keeps us accountable to the individual goals that we have and to the company's goals and what we're going to do to meet those, and to managing and addressing any issues on a weekly basis as they come up, resolving them, coming up with to-dos, cascading that information out, and moving forward. It also really helps us to think through, my other favorite component is this idea of the right person in the right seat. So I think back to that idea of the responsibility of managing an employee, right, or many employees. We always want to make sure that everyone is here and they're doing what they should be doing and they're doing the best for themselves and that they're happy doing it, as happy as they can be, and that it's working for them. In EOS language, that they get it, they want it, and they have the capacity to do that job. They get the job, they want the job, and they have the capacity to do that job. And so if you can look across everyone, and we have, I feel like we have the best team on earth, honestly. But if you can look across your team and say with absolute confidence that everybody is the right person in the right role, that is something that you should be striving for with your business. And I think in order to scale your business, those are the elements you have to make sure are in place. If you can't figure that stuff out, then you're never going to be able to go very far, because all these little issues are going to keep cropping up and you're not going to be able to have a mechanism to address them. And again, to be kind of future looking, but managing issues as they come up and figuring out solutions for them. So that's what I love about EOS. I just think it's a really simple and effective methodology.